Hello to you, our viewers. Time again for the news here on Rwanda Television. My name is Serge Nori. We'll begin with the headlines. Parliamentarians have accepted explanations given by the Minister of Youth and Culture concerning the failure of some projects meant for the better welfare of young people in the country. Eswatini's Senate President has begun a 4-day working visit here in Rwanda. Now the details. Thank you again for joining us. The Minister of Youth and Culture has told the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies in Parliament that the challenges affecting different development programs meant for the benefit of young people include the failures of some beneficiaries that in turn have led to some of the youth cooperatives being unable to accomplish their goals. Prince Manzi begins this edition with these details.
Some of the youth in the Kigali city say that being in cooperatives helped them to get jobs and address their daily challenges.
When you wake up having a place to go for getting money that addresses different problems you face daily like rent, food, it's a great thing.
On the other hand, some of the youth say that not being in cooperatives in one way or another affected their development and said that local administration plays a role in this. Cooperatives are not there. There are teams. Some of the youth that get money, they definitely join teams of older people.
Because I know none for me to join, I think the problem is the leaders as they do not emphasize and raise awareness.
The issue of youth cooperatives was tackled on by the plenary session of the Deputies' Chamber as the Minister of Youth and Culture, Rosemary Mbabazi, gave oral explanations on issues found in the implementation of different youth development programs. Deputies in the Rwanda Parliament demonstrated that youth cooperatives are few and poor. You find that on the ministerial level, it is a good plan, but it does not reach the youth down there. And I ask myself how in accordance to the number, you cannot find even a single cooperative. Like I once found a cooperative that does seeds bead and it is small, and yet the youth have to be in big cooperatives and earn highly.
There should be strong measurements for those youth to move from the teams to cooperative, because when they stay in the teams, the challenges include not being able to be supported, because most of the time you find investors help legally approved cooperatives, and that is why you find like one legally approved cooperative in a sector and it is always visited and supported because it is the only one approved.
Minister Rosemary Mbabazi told the deputies that the comportments of some of the youth played a big role in disrupting the development of these cooperatives.
The ministry has no problem with emphasizing the youth to join cooperatives because we have established ways to help in this. But this is where the challenges are found. The first are the challenges still found in the management of some of the cooperatives, and it discourages most of these youth. Another challenge is mobility in the youth, and you find that those that established a cooperative in this region, they change to another area and it affects its durability. The youth is the transition, not a career. We want those who were 25 and started cooperatives. After 5 years, they have to shift and leave for others to work.
This official requested all levels in charge to help the youth in working efficiently, including helping them to have documentations early. The Minister of Youth and Culture also provided explanations on people who graduate from rehabilitation centers and are not supported in creating their own jobs. She reiterated that the government will continue to collaborate with families of these people in making it easier to access materials that help in practicing what they learned. The plenary session was satisfied with the explanations provided by the Minister of Youth and Culture. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Rwanda's Senate President has met with and held discussions with his counterpart from the Kingdom of Eswatini, who has begun a 4-day working visit here in the country. Olive Nete with more.
Discussions of the first day of the benchmark visit of the President of the Senate of Eswatini and her delegation focused on reviewing the structure, institutional reforms, and day-to-day functioning of the Senate of Rwanda. This visit aims at learning from the functioning of the Rwandan Senate and also reviewing the building of the Parliament of Rwanda and see what they can learn from how it is built, since they are currently building a new parliament in the kingdom. Senator Pastor Lindiwe Dlamini, the President of the Senate of the Kingdom of Eswatini, highlights some of the reasons why they chose to visit Rwanda.
It is an honor when you find that there is an African country that you can actually look up to and say, this country has done well and there are a lot of learnings for all of us. Rwanda stands out as one of those countries that has shown that in the adversity, in everything they've gone through, they've risen above every challenge. From Rwanda, we're learning resilience. You've actually risen above every adversity and stood out to be a beacon of success, to which as African countries we are coming to say we want to learn from you.
The President of the Rwandan Senate, Dr. Kalinda François-Xavier, points out that such visits present as an opportunity for Rwanda to learn and strengthen relations with other countries.
The Senate of Rwanda highly appreciates that you have chosen the Parliament of Rwanda to carry out your benchmarking exercise. And beyond the objectives of your visit, the Senate of Rwanda welcomed your visit as an opportunity to exchange views and consider together the ways of enhancing our bilateral parliamentary relations. Your visit is therefore another testimony of the special relations of a true friendship between our two parliaments, and it reminds us of the importance of solidarity. The kind of solidarity that gives our respective countries strength and confidence to learn from each other and work together to tackle challenges we face.
Honorable Pastor Lindiwe Dlamini and her delegation also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial at Gisozi, where they laid wreaths on graves and paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi buried in the memorial. She pointed out that it is of a great privilege to see the progress that Rwanda has made after this tragedy.
I'm heartbroken. I am shattered. How a country can face such cruelty, it's unimaginable. And I just want to say to the Rwandan people, thank you for being resilient. Thank you for standing together. Thank you that Africa is coming to learn a lot from you. And to His Excellency, the President Paul Kagame, thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your leadership and for your courage and for standing with your people. And to all the Rwandans, thank you very much.
Very strong The delegation from the Kingdom of Eswatini also visited the Campaign Against Genocide Museum, where they were explained about the liberation struggle. The benchmark visit of the delegation from Eswatini is expected to last 4 days. Olive Nete, RTV News.
On Wednesday, Rwanda will be joining the rest of the world in celebrating Women's Day. This year, the theme is focusing on innovation and technology for gender equality. Precious Chirezi with more.
Rwanda stands alongside the global community to celebrate International Women's Day this March 8th, with emphasis on the role technology and innovation have played in the development of women and girls. Dr. Didasian Mukanyirijira recalls her intrigue in technology from a young age, and that projected into her role as an official of the National Council of Science and Technology, a lecturer at the University of Rwanda, and a member of the board of directors at REG. Working alongside Dr. Mukanyirijira is Dr. Delphine Abijuru, who serves as the head of the Research and Development Department at Rwanda Energy Group. Dr. Mukanyirijira and Dr. Abijuru are founding members of an association for women that studied science and engineering, which intends to inspire girls to join the same field. First Lady Jeannette Kagame shared her thoughts on the matter and commended the role that Rwandan women have played in empowerment.
Iyo tuvuga agaciro k'umugore muri iki gihugu cyacu tujye tunongeraho ko bitikoze.
When we talk about the value of Rwandan women, take note that this country's leadership has played a significant role in integrating women in decision-making spaces, especially politics, and even the national budget is inclusive of a fund designated to the development of women and institutions that foster capacity building. International Women's Day was initiated by the UN in 1972, and the operative theme for this year is Digital, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. This occurs at a time when the female population in Rwanda accounts for 51.5%, 48.5% men. Precious Tirezi, RTV News.
Officials at the Rwanda Forensic Laboratory have noted that the lab's services in forensic science are being used by even people from beyond the country's borders. Jessica Gassaro with the details.
Take notes to share.
In Kigali, there is a 3-day conference for the 10th Annual African Society for Forensic Medicine under the theme Harmonization of Evidence based on Forensic Science Practice in Africa. This conference has gathered more than 400 people from different continents. The Director General of the Rwanda Forensic Laboratory, Dr. Charles Karangwa, mentioned that the service that the Rwanda Forensic Laboratory offers can be delivered to most places.
It appears that we have seen people coming to us from more than 11 countries and some from other countries to see that what they have heard or seen from a distance is true. Our priority is to expand the borders and go beyond, and for the Rwanda Forensic Laboratory, this is a very good, unique opportunity that will allow us to introduce our services even though we have plans to reach them and show them what we do now. We'll find them and they will know already what we are talking about.
The president of the Africa Society for Forensic Medicine, Dr. Owom Izi, reiterates that when the results are needed in justice, for him, the price of this service should be paid by the government. Hence, the only concern is that in most African countries, the cost is paid by the citizen.
Ideally, we should expect the state to be responsible for forensic investigations and all aspects of testing. Unfortunately, in many parts of Africa, there is little to no budget for forensic investigation, and interested parties may have to bear the cost, which is unfortunate. So I think that is a relevant question. We need to talk about resources and funding, and that is one of the things that we'll be considering in this respect, that there should be a specific budget line for forensic investigation, because that is going to affect the justice delivery.
The Chief Justice, Dr. Faustin Heziryayo, confirms that the result provided by this laboratory helps the justice system to start the case on time and provide quality justice.
We in the judiciary, we are very grateful for the invaluable contribution of forensic and medical legal experts in our duty to deliver quality and timely justice. It is my hope, however, having a forensic institution that supports the justice system with evidence based on science and technology for use in our court of law and other justice bodies is a great achievement to this country, but I think to all countries. Besides providing relevant scientific evidence, Rwanda Forensic Laboratory Services contribute toward reducing the turnaround time of judicial proceedings.
To this date, the Rwanda Forensic Laboratory has released more than 35,000 evidence since its inception in 2018. Jessica Gassaro, RTV News.
Local residents living near the methane gas power plant in Nyamyumba sector, Rubavu district of the Western Province, appreciate its contribution in their development. Local communities in the area also benefit from a thriving tourism sector. Prince Manzi has more.
Boniface Murasira, usually waged in Gisenyi city center, but now came back in his home village in the Busoro center as different infrastructures were introduced there, including the methane gas power plant, and it is providing jobs to many.
Kuba rero nararetse gukorera mu mujyi nkaza hano nuko ndi kubona ko bitangiye kuzamuka.
For me to have left the city and come here, it is because here the development is improving, meaning if there is water and I'm a plumber, Whoever faces the difficulties will talk to me. Down here, there's a hotel, and they're installing the pool. Life is being simple. Like if I get 5,000 today, there will be no transport because it is near, and I will eat at home. I am not the only one. People who went in the city for jobs are now coming back to help in this development. The region where this power plant is built in, there's also different investments, mostly touristic, across the Lake Kivu. All these support the development of the residents.
We are happy for this investor. He provided health insurance for the vulnerable as well as jobs, and we are developing. We do not get hungry. We used to drink the Lake Kivu water, and now we have access to water in the home of this investor.
The construction of the methane gas power plant in Lake Kivu started in 2018. The power plant will provide 56 megawatts, but currently it will commence with 17 megawatts. Rwanda has a goal that in 2024 all houses will be having access to electricity. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
The private sectors of the economic community of Central African states have demonstrated that there should be an efficient way that is common for the member states of this community to simplify investment and partnerships in business. Prince Manzi once more.
Cross-border entrepreneurs in the member states of this community demonstrate different challenges in the partnership and investment in this community. One of the challenges is lack of infrastructures and a simple way for performing cross-border trade. There are instances whereby moving to some of these countries in this community required to first pass through another country not a member of this community. In this community, 3,100 kilometers are near the ocean, but we have no common company for transporting goods on water. All these are challenges preventing entrepreneurs to move goods from one country to another. For addressing these challenges, the private sector, heads of development boards, and executive levels in the country members of the Economic Community of Central African States convened in Kigali, Rwanda for a 3-day meeting. Participants say that the Commission in charge of the economic development made different moves to address these challenges, and there is a continuing effort to establish a way of implementation as elaborated by Francois Kanimba, the Commissioner in charge of Common Market in this community. We made a thorough analysis in every country member for understanding why things are in that way, but also what can be done. We currently have an expert report on each country, but also in general on major things to cooperate on. The Director General of Africa in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Shakida Mutoni Kazimbaya, ensured this private sector and development boards personnel that Rwanda will support them.
Nkuko mwabikurikiranye mu bijyanye na doing business uburyo bwo gukora ishoramari.
As you followed, Rwanda is the only country in the 11 in member states to be on the list of the best countries doing business report. That is why as Rwanda, we are ready to collaborate with these countries to demonstrate what we have achieved and also continue to learn.
Ariko natwe dukomeze kwiga nk'u Rwanda kuko natwe ntago twavuga ko twagezeyo.
The Economic Community of Central African States consists of 11 countries, these being Rwanda, Angola, Burundi, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, the Central African Republic, Cameroon, Gabon, Sao Tome and Principe, Chad, and Equatorial Guinea. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
It's the end of our edition. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and goodbye.